This is Daddy Show. Step off.
It's time for the main event.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this right here is Tom Clark's Main Event. What's up, kids? Welcome back to the program. How goes it? Happy Friday to you, one and all. Have you had a good week? Talk to me about your week. What's everybody been doing this week, man? It's really good to see you. Welcome to the Main Event. Again, I'm Tom. If you've never watched the show before, how's it going? So I'm Tom. I've been doing the Main Event since 2014. And it's a labor of love. It's my first ever podcast, still going strong. This is episode number 323, still cranking them out once a week at our best. Sometimes we take breaks here and there, but most of the time we're here. Again, one episode per week. I also have two other podcasts I want to tell you about before we get the show started today. Tom Clark's 6M podcast. That's movies, music, Marvel, magazines, miniseries, and more. And also Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. All three shows are available on all the major platforms. Please follow all of our socials, if you will. We would very much appreciate it, man. None of our content is behind any sort of paywall. It's all free and open and clear. Whenever you want to watch, subscribe, download, or follow, you're more than welcome to. You get full access to all the archives, all the previous goodies, and you also get hit with brand new episodes as soon as they become available. New episodes of the Main Event, as you can see, are on Fridays. New episodes of Tom Clark's 6M podcast are on Tuesdays, and new episodes of Two Nations Under Ted are on Saturdays. There you go, baby. 3 days a week full of content from yours truly and an assorted cast of characters, my co-hosts. So if you will, go follow those shows, support Boink Studios, and do me a favor. If you want to hang out plus someplace other than Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff, go join the Boink Studios Discord. Jay will be very proud of me. I didn't forget this time. Go join the Boink Studios Discord. Go take a look, man. I got the link everywhere. If you don't have the link, you know what I'm going to do? As we're here today, I'm going to drop the link in the comments. That way, everybody can see it. I'd much appreciate you guys to go and join the Boink Studios Discord. If you have never joined a Discord channel before or server before in your life, I promise you, you'll enjoy it. I've made it extremely fun. I promise you, you'll like it, man. So do me a favor, join the Discord. Here is the link. Copy and paste this link into your browser. Go and join the Boink Studios Discord. Again, there's no paywall, nothing like that. I don't want your credit card information. I'm not trying to sell you anything. Just come into the Discord, hang out, man. Here's a preview of what you can expect. Some of the channels we've got. We've got the Hangout channel. We've got the Pro Wrestling channel, of course. We've got a comic books channel, a streaming TV, a movies, a music, books, blogs, and a lot more. Whatever tickles your fancy, man, whatever you like to talk about, jump into the Boink Studios Discord. Let's talk about it. Let's hang out. I'm telling you, it's much more fun than Facebook. I promise you. I don't get political in the Discord, and I'd ask that you guys don't do it either. As soon as you join, you'll see a list of rules that everybody has to abide by. But other than that, we're wide open, baby. Jump in and hang out, man. Hang out. I'd very much appreciate it. Again, copy and paste that link into your browser. Let's do this. There's the banner. It's banning, baby. Let's get the icon up in the corner, and now we're ready to roll, Jack. Ready to roll. Before I start saying hello, do me a favor. You know what I'm going to ask, right? Are you ready? Smash the like button. Smash the like button. Share the show on your social media. I would very much appreciate it, but I need you to smash that like button for me. How's it go? This? Yeah, whatever. As always, people listening to the audio version have no idea what I just did. For all you know, I took my shirt off. No one wants that. Okay? We keep it PG here. I'm just saying. We got a big show today and a lot to get to. But let's say some hellos. First at the table today is Robbie. What's going on? Good to see you. Carlos, what's up, my friend? Renato Rodriguez, good to see you. Sugar Shane in the house. Chad Too Bad, good to see you, friend. Ray All Day says it's raining buckets in New York. It's not raining here, but if you want to send some rain my way, I'm good with it. I don't mind the rain, dude. Rain never bothers me. People complain about the rain or whatever. Not you, but like weather. I don't really care. I don't much care for snow. I've never been a fan of snow. If I don't have to drive that, I'm okay with it, right? Most of the time, I don't really care for snow. Gene, Mean Gene, what's going on? Good to see you. Jeffrey, what's going on, dude? Good to see you. Air Jackson in the house. Happy belated birthday, Air. I appreciate you. Tim, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you, dude. Sandy in Germany, what's going on? Hello, JD in Minnesota. I could not help myself. We got lots to get into today. Again, kids, please and thank you. Smash the like button. Read the ticker below this unbelievably handsome mug here today and check it out. Tom Clark's Main Event, yes, we're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, Spotify, and YouTube at Boink Studios, B-O-I-N-K Studios. Join the Boink Studios Discord and follow Tom Clark 6M Podcast and Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. BoinkStudios.com is coming very soon, and basically it's just a place for us to put all our links. It's a place to put all the latest podcast episodes. I've got photos of all my co-hosts on there and links to their socials so you can go follow them and everything. And I'm telling you, man, I think you'll dig it. I'm working hard on it. I think it's going to look pretty sweet. All right. I see we've already got some people jumping into the Discord. Renato has joined the Discord. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Renato knows what's up. I'm going to say hey to you right now. Go join the Discord, kids. I would very much appreciate it. Laura, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out on my show today. All right, kids. As I said, we got bunches of stuff to talk about here today. We're not going to waste any more time. Let's go ahead and get to it. Right out the gate, let's talk about her. She will headline today's main event. Jade Cargill is all fed. I don't know. Anyway, she's WWE or NXT or whatever they're going to call her or whatever. Look, I said from the beginning, if she happens to go there and it's the deal that she wants and she's happy and it's the next logical step for her, go with God. It's perfectly fine with me. Hope she got paid. Hope she got what she asked for and then some. Go get paid. That's what I say. She's young enough. She's in unbelievable shape. She learned a lot in AEW. She can take what she learned to the next step now. If you saw that press conference with her, saw that interview, she's very much in line with what WWE wants her to be, how they want her to sound. It's okay. It happens. This is what happens when you sign with that company. You toe the company line. You toe the company line. It's okay. I don't fault her for that at all. Go get your money. And I hope they treat her right. Seriously. Good for her. Yeah. Life's too short to be sitting here hating on somebody because they left the company you enjoy watching. None of that stuff should matter to you. Always be on the side of the talent. Always pull for the talent. Never pull for the company. Okay? Never pull for the white billionaires. If none of you know that by now, you never will. Okay? I promise you. Always pull for the little people. Guys like us. Pull for us. All right? Because we're the ones that make everything work. Ray says, I'm happy for her. If she's happy, then it's all good. I pray they don't have her dance or doing. Yeah, we talked about that. Ray guest starred or co-hosted this week on Tom Clark 6M podcast. That episode will come out Tuesday. If you're a fan of Luke Cage, you want to check out that episode. It's myself, Ray, and Phil Lindsay. Shout out Phil Lindsay. Phil Lindsay of Tom Clark 6M podcast fame and also of Grapsody fame. Phil's my man. Ray, I appreciate you hanging out. For sure. JD says, talent first. Everybody go encourage Ray to start his own sports podcast because I think he's going to end up doing it. You know what I mean? I think Ray's going to end up doing it. Ray, you'd be a great sports podcast. You can do any kind of podcast you want. I'm not trying to steer in any direction, but I think the sports part of it, like you mentioned, might be the, you've already got confidence, right? Look at me doing this on there. But like, for the sports stuff, you're very good at just like this. that dude, you got to do the thing that you're the most comfortable, most confident talking about. Rumors are Randy Orton's coming back at Fastlane, Augie. We'll see. I don't know if he's going to or not. Anything's possible. I don't honestly know if we'd ever see him leave that company. Never say never, okay? But I honestly believe that he'll finish up his career in that company, and then one day he'll be behind the scenes, and I don't know if he'd be doing a shirt and tie like Triple H and Shawn. Who knows? But yeah, I'd be surprised if he didn't go back eventually. Absolutely, Ray. And again, I think it's something that, as far as the sports goes, I mean, I think you could slide right into it and start talking today. And again, that's all podcasts are, man. We're just making connections. We're just talking about things we enjoy talking about. We're making connections with people. That's all we're doing here. So, Sean Miller says, who do you think attacked Switchblade? Oh, that's coming. Never you fear. But I wanted to spend the beginning of the show here talking about Jade. Again, happy for Jade. If you guys have any thoughts on her, please drop them in the comments now. Let's talk about it. Who do you think she'll work? I think it's only a matter of time. I know we're putting the cart before the horse. It'll probably take a while to get here. But I think Jade versus Charlotte is a match they're not going to be able to not book. I think it's going to be like, they just can't help themselves. And they shouldn't. I think it's a great idea. Charlotte and Jade match up physically. Charlotte will be much better in the ring than her, at least for now. We'll see the lengths to which Jade will improve since she's in that company now. We'll see. Ray, I think that Jade is a natural heel. I think she's a natural heel. Carlos, we'll get there, I promise you. Shane says Jade versus Bianca Belair. Yeah, I get it. But, I would also think, Jade versus Bayley, Jade versus Becky Lynch, Jade versus Charlotte, of course, Jade versus Io Shirai. I mean, I think all these are money matches, dude. I really believe that. There's no word yet on if she will be NXT first, JD. We know she's in the PC right now, but I don't know if that will translate into NXT, and if they know, they're not saying. I do like the idea of Paul Heyman being her mouthpiece, but I don't know if they'll go to those links. That might be cool. Jeffrey says happy for Jade also, but she might start in NXT and she could do a surprise. Here's what I'm going to tell you. In my opinion, if she starts in NXT, she's going to dominate that division. She'll take that title in no time. And I think she'll have a run that will rival Asuka's. That's what I believe. Wait and see. We'll wait and see. Shane versus Nia Jax. Yeah. No, I don't see that happening. They'd be crazy to do that. No chance. In my opinion. Maybe you'll be right and I'll be wrong. I don't know. In my opinion, I would personally never book that match. No chance. Let's talk about it. You see that line on your screen right now, and if you didn't watch the video, boy, you're missing out. Adam Cole's master plan. Have you guys picked up on the fact that MJF, more than one time now, numerous times over the past few months, has been talking about, this guy's making me work. He's making me wrestle more than I ever had to before. I'm having to get off the couch and come over here and wrestle, and I had to wrestle twice in one night. And he did it again Wednesday. Right? He just keeps talking about it. He's referenced it more than one time. And then he made comments to Cole that, the tag team titles mean so much to him in Ring of Honor, which is why he's going to defend both titles this coming Sunday at WrestleDream by himself. Look, I ain't the first guy to predict this. I won't be the last, okay? I think all this is a grand master plan to destroy MJF. I think Cole is with it, with Roddy and with the Kingdom, and I think they're his faction. My opinion, I think those are the guys in the black that attacked Roddy. I think, in my opinion, I would not be surprised if some of Adam Cole's injuries will work. I would not be surprised. Now, I'm not telling you, this is no scoop. This is nothing that I know for sure. I didn't get this from anyone backstage in any company. All right. It's just my opinions. You can take them or you can leave them. I think Cole's hurt, Ray. I do think Cole's hurt. I don't personally believe his ankle's broken in 3 places and he's got torn ligaments from one jump off the stage. I think it's possible. Anything's possible. And I'm not predicting that those things did not happen to him. I'm saying I would not be surprised. And I'm usually not this, what's the word I'm looking for? This conspiracy nut guy. And I'm not trying to be one now, okay? But I just don't know how much I believe that all the injuries that he's talking about actually happened to him. And what do you think the recovery time? What do you think it's sprained and recovery time's 3 weeks? Look, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe I'll be dead wrong. Maybe this is all legit. And if it is, that's fine. I don't see, unlike some other conspiracy guys out there, I don't need my theory to be true. And notice how I didn't preface anything with, they should do this. AEW should do this. I hate that stuff, man. I can't stand it. They should do this. Like they're listening. Like they're going, that Tom guy in North Carolina's got some great ideas. Hey, man. Jeffrey says, how long is Cole out of action? I don't believe the whole thing's a work. Personal opinion. I don't believe it is. The promo Jay White and MJF cut on each other took an hour and a half. Why attack Jay White? Because Jay White, that's a good question, Ray. To throw MJF off the scent? I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't thought all this through. It's just a shoot from the hip, loose theory I've got. You know what I mean? Jess says that would be a genius if it was a work. If it was broken that bad, he would have been able to walk. Would he have been able to walk or continue the ring like he did? Wouldn't he be on the ground? It depends. It depends. If he has a walking cast on, you can usually, I don't know about a broken ankle, but I tore ligaments on my right ankle once and I couldn't walk. There was no putting weight on my foot. However, when they put a walking cast on me, walking cast takes all the weight off your foot and distributes the weight to the cast itself. I walked just fine. So I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Will from in Winnipeg, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Robert says, I agree. I think Cole is pulling a Miz like he did a few years ago with John Morrison. I genuinely feel bad for MJF. What I don't like, here's what I don't like. I don't like the idea of MJF doing this soul searching and I never had friends and now I've got the best friend I've ever had in my life and he's opened my eyes and now I like kids and now I'll sign autographs. Now I'm not a D-bag anymore and I've turned new leaf and I'm a new man. And if Adam Cole betrays him, guess what happens? All that's out the window. He'll never come back again. And if he does, it'll be years because he'll turn heel eventually. You see what I mean? That's the shame of this. Now, maybe I'll be wrong about all this and none of this will happen, but that'd be the shame of it. Just because I love the ideas of characters going through character arcs. I don't like the idea of stagnant characters. Have you ever bought a book and the character's the same on page 250 as he was on page 1? Wasn't that just the worst book you've ever read? Characters had to be dynamic. They have to change. They have to go through, controversy. They have to go through growth. They have to experience growth, right? That's what I'm telling you. It matters to me. I don't like to tune into stuff like I like to see characters who are evolving. That's the impetus of any great pro wrestling character is that characters can evolve. They can change over time. Character, crisis, and conclusion. What is it? Character, crisis, and is it conclusion? Or climax, whatever it is. You better believe it. But we'll see. Jeffrey says MJF makes a way better heel than he does a face. I agree with that to a certain extent, but he has been tremendous here. He's been tremendous. And by the way, whoever's part of this mob is wearing MJF's mask. AEW may swerve all of us. It could be the Blackpool Combat Club. It could. It could. I love the mystery. I hope they pay this off, and I hope they don't pay it off for a while. I don't want to know Sunday. Sunday's way too early. They just did it, right? So I hope they take their time. Vic says, what if it was Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong? Could be. Could be. Keith says Jade should squash Nia Jax at Fastlane after an open challenge. I'd be okay with that, but would they have re-signed Nia and paid her this money to have her come back and job to somebody that's never worked in the ring before in that company? Not saying you'll be wrong, but would they do that? Would they be willing to do that? I don't know, man. Hey, what is up? Tom Clark here for Tom Clark's 6M Podcast, where we focus on movies, music, Marvel, magazines, miniseries, and more. It's a complete geek culture / pop culture podcast. Brand new episodes drop every Tuesday. The show is available for subscription right now today on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, Stitcher, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Just subscribe and you'll be all set. Tom Clark's 6M Podcast. I've heard that theory too, Gene, that it's Edge. But honestly, I don't know if any of those cats were tall enough to be Edge. My opinion. Keith says, I think it surprised Kingdom members to throw us off to swerve us from Cole. Absolutely. Chad, too bad. Okay, but is that guy tall enough to have been Edge? Edge is a tall guy, man. Maybe you'll be right. Maybe everybody's right. I don't know, dude. I don't know. We'll see. Be interesting to see what happens, right? I do think that, look, I said from the beginning, Adam Cole's going to stab him in the back because Adam wants that title. This notion that Adam had the one match and now he's okay, and now he's all right with everything, he's okay not being champion, nonsense. Nonsense. Of course he wants that title. Of course he wants it. As a character, you better believe he wants it. Nothing's changed. It's just that he's made everyone believe he's a good dude. I'm a good dude now, guys. Look out. I don't know. I left off a headline here. I'm going to put it up right now. And we'll get to it shortly. This moment of typing brought to you by Tom Clark's Main Event. By the way, I've got one of those gaming keyboards, so the keys are like clunk, clunk, clunk. You know what I mean? Insanely loud. So yeah, we'll see what'll happen. On the same note, and we're moving right along, kids. We're at the bottom of the hour almost. You believe that stuff? Time flies when you're having fun, right? Let's talk about the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson has come out recently in a podcast. I think it was either last night or today, one of the two, and talked about the G1 Climax tournament in Japan next year and basically said it's off the table. He's concerned about the toll it would take on his body and that's not fair. And honestly, if you believe anything he says, next year's going to be it. This year would be it for him anyway, but I don't know if that's going to be true or not. Who knows? He said, quote, I love doing this, but it's not worth the expense of my health later on in life. And I've already had enough injuries as it is. He also said, let's see, that the G1 is something I wanted to do forever and ever, but have never been able to do it. So this year would be the year to do it, except is it? Because by the time the next G1 rolls around, I'll be 43. I think now doing a G1 might be a little irresponsible of me in comparison to what my overall long-term goals are, which are being there for my kids and for my family. I'm not even talking for the month that I'd be gone for the G1. I'm talking what it would do to my body. My body's been very forgiving of me and the things that I choose to do. I don't want to take advantage of it too much. It's been good to me, and I need to treat it kindly this last year. See that? This last year. He keeps reminding everybody, he ain't coming back. What's your guys' thoughts on that? I had to throw that in there. There you go. End quote from Bryan Danielson. Let's see. Is Bree pressuring him to retire? I would suspect this is all Danielson. I don't know, but I would suspect this is all Danielson. Vic says they had two matches for title. First one was a time limit draw, and the second one was a Wembley. Yeah, you're right. My bad. Yeah, I get you. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like two. Yeah. I don't think he'd be okay with that. Ricardo says, if Bryan gives it up, I won't be sad. He has given us everything. I'll miss the guy being in the ring. I would miss the guy being in the ring, but I'm with you. Time to move on to the next chapter, the next episode, right? For real. Time to move on. And, there's something to be said about John Cena walking away when he did. The Rock walking away when he did. Batista walking away when he did. They didn't stay around and do nothing but work matches and continue to put their bodies through, torture. You know what I mean? This business takes a toll on you, man. You ever wonder why, the old timers, like the guys who are now in their 70s and stuff, are hobbled up and they're bow-legged, and every time they stand up, you can hear their back crack, and they're walking hunched over, and you see some of your favorites, especially from the NWA days, signing autographs and stuff, and they can barely hold a pen. It's because they put their bodies through the ringer. So there comes a time when it's like, all right, I've had enough. I got to start thinking about family. I got to start thinking about the future. I'm going to transition. Even if that means I'm going to be a promoter, I'm going to be an agent backstage, I'm going to stay in the business. But there comes a time when your body needs its rest and it needs its break. You got to get out. Jeff said, did this last injury kind of snap something? I don't know. That's an excellent question. I would not be surprised. Sugar Shane says, going back to Jay White, another theory I have is it could be a former members of Bullet Club. Could be. You're right. But there you go, kids. Bryan Danielson probably not competing in the G1 next year. It's a shame. G1 season is one of the most exciting times for a pro wrestling fan. And I have supported New Japan as a company. I know what I said earlier. Don't support the company. You know what I mean. But I support their app. Their app is going through a big reboot at this point. It's supposed to be, better, faster, stronger, that kind of thing. So we'll see. Because right now the app's kind of sometimes it can be a mess. It's worth $10 a month, no matter what you think of it, because you get access to all that amazing content all the way back to 1972. That makes it worth it in and of itself. Okay. But at the same time, it's way overdue for an overhaul. And that's supposedly coming soon, probably within the next month or so. All right, kids, let's talk about WrestleDream. You see that thing I got going on right there? Stop it. It's because my lighting in here is funky. If you're listening, you don't know what I'm talking about. Let's talk about AEW WrestleDream. Who's getting the pay-per-view this coming Sunday, kids? Who's going to watch it? I think I'll get this one. I didn't get All Out. I got All In, but I did not get All Out. So, there you go. Let's talk about it. We mentioned the aforementioned Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson will be taking on Zack Sabre Jr. Let me tell you something about these matches, dude. These matches are top notch. If you've been on the fence about AEW pay-per-view, don't be. Buy this one. And I'm not getting paid from them. I'm just saying. Listen to this card. Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland. FTR versus Aussie Open. Tag match for AEW World Tag Team Championships. MJF defending the RH World Tag Team titles against the Righteous, Vincent and Dutch, of course. Listen to this. Chris Jericho and the Golden Elite, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. Do you ever think you'd see that? Versus the Don Callis family, Konosuke Takeshita, Sammy Guevara, and Will Ospreay. Christian Cage versus Darby Allin, 2 out of 3 falls match for the AEW TNT Championship. Eddie Kingston versus Kazuchika Shibata for the ROH World Championship and Strong Openweight Championship. I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie walks away from this match. Honestly, I think Eddie wins this match. I think they're going to put Eddie on this big wave of momentum right now. And I love Shibata. Who doesn't love Shibata? Okay. But I don't see them taking the titles off of him right now, off of Eddie. Chris Statlander defending the AWTBS Championship against Julia Hart. That'll be fun. The Young Bucks versus the Guns versus the Lucha Bros versus Orange Cassidy and Hook. 4-way tag team match for a future AEW World Tag Team title shot. And Ricky Starks versus Wheeler Yuta. There ain't a bad match on this card. Find one. I defy you. This is going to be good, man. I'm telling you right now. Ray says, I'll get it this time. Loves to say ZSJ is the best, man. He's so good. By the way, Ray, get that New Japan app. See all the Zack Sabre you can handle and then some. Hey, I'm just saying. Sheriff says, good matches, but I have to watch my money and be more selective right now. I feel that. I feel you. Carter says Eddie's been on fire. Agreed. Ray says Swerve beating Page. It's his time, and let's pray Prince Nana does the best dance ever. As soon as I do that, you've got the song in your head, don't you? I can't put it up on the screen, but it's great. Nick Wayne turn on Darby. I think you will too, honestly. If you get the pay-per-view, give us your review next. Oh, you better believe it, Chad. You know I will. I'm with you, Ricardo. Great card. Vic says, what's your thought on Impact's Bound for Glory? I was almost going to review that today. I'm going to hold off. I think they're still putting the card together. We are going to talk about it, Vic. I promise you. There's some good matches happening on that card too, man. I think it's going to be well worth it. It'll be well worth it. We will talk about it, I promise you. I just don't have it on deck here today. After Rampage tonight, there's a preview for WrestleDream. Well, there you go. Shane says Swerve vs. Page will steal the show. I bet it would. I bet it will. This sets up a long feud. I think you just said it. This should be a long feud. This shouldn't be one and done. You know what I love about this? There's no titles involved. It's just the two of them. It's Swerve proving that he should have Page's spot, and it's Page proving that he's got no business giving up that spot, that Swerve's not ready to take it. I love it. I love it. I think it's going to be fun, dude. I'm not kidding. I think it's going to be a fun match. It's going to be a fun night. I'm really seriously looking forward to it. I get what you're saying, about watching your cash. I totally get that. 100% get it. Kids, we're at the bottom of the hour. Look how fast we go here on Tom Clark's Main Event. If you have not yet shared this to your Facebook page or to your other socials, please do so. I shared this feed in the Discord. So if you're in the Discord, you could actually click the link and follow the show, follow along with us to here today. But anyway, yeah. So do me a favor, go check it out. The Discord, I mean. So yeah, smash the like button for me here, kids, if you would. It would mean loads to me. And yeah, I think this week's gonna be good, man. I really do. Honestly, I think this show is gonna be one to watch. You know what I mean? I'm serious. I think it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna share this the actual link here in the Discord. I've got an announcement, but I don't have it as a post. So I'm gonna do that now. How about that? You guys okay with that, aren't you? Man, now I got Swerve's theme song in my head. How you like that? Yeah, how you like that? I can't help it, man. Can't help it. I love it. Prince Nana dancing to it's all the better. Isn't it? Hey, man, I actually look better when it's streamed because right now I'm very bright. Aren't I? I'm very bright. Isn't that crazy? I still don't have the lighting. I don't have the lighting the way I want it. It's a what word am I looking for? There we go. It's a work in progress. There we go. All right, back to the show. Back to the show. Back from the break. Let's see. Chad says, I've heard Kyle getting close coming back. I've not heard anything. I like Kyle O'Reilly quite a bit. So we'll see. I didn't want to not mention NXT No Mercy. I'm not checking out NXT. NXT's not for me. No disrespect to the talent there. Go do your thing. Get your money and try to bring the house down. But I thought it'd be worth at least talking about it for a moment. Blair Davenport versus Kalani Jordan. Noam Dar versus Butch. Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov for the NXT Championship. Braun Breaker versus Baron Corbin. Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton. Extreme Rules for NXT Women's Championship. Dominic taking on Trick Williams for the North American Championship. Dragon Lee's the special guest referee. That should be interesting. The Family, Tony D'Angelo, Channing Stacks, Lorenzo versus OTM versus the Creed Brothers versus Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. Fatal 4-way tag team match for NXT Tag Team Championships. Are you guys watching the NXT show tomorrow night? I felt like I needed to mention it. That way nobody gets mad at me. I think Jay could show up tomorrow night. Why not? What are they waiting on? Why not? My boy has gotten big, Gene. You're not kidding about that. Could I imagine if Dolph Ziggler is the one who attacked Jay White? I'd be okay with that too. Who's the guys with him? Boy, that who did what to who, that mystery attacker stuff, that storyline just goes on for days, doesn't it? Because it literally could be anybody at this point. Ray says, only care about Mela. Mela's very good. Chad says, I don't watch it much, but I like the Creed brothers. Well, there you go. Look, I said before, just because I don't watch a brand of wrestling means I want it to fail. I don't want any brand of wrestling to fail, honestly, unless they're just scumbags and they're stealing from the talent or something. Then I don't care if it goes up in flames or not. But yeah, I don't want to see WWE. I mean, WWE's got more money than God, and it is what it is. You can. I don't care for that family. I haven't for a long time, if I'm being straight with you. It is what it is. I still don't have any ill will toward that company, and I don't wish anything bad on them. I always want to see the talent succeed. Always. All right, kids, we're going to have a big, long, massive open floor. You guys are going to have to do me a favor. You got about 20 minutes to entertain yourselves, and I want you to put some thought in these questions, man, because I want them to be good. Whatever you guys want to talk about, the floor is yours. Let's talk about it. Whatever you guys got for me, I'm ready, Jack. Is that official, Chad, that Triple H and Stephanie are splitting? Is that official? I heard rumors. I didn't know it was official. Robbie says, all right, Robbie, yeah, this is so hard for me every week. Here's this week's Who's the Wrestler. Were the wrestlers attached to these real names? One is known for armpits. Well, that could be the Nasty Boys, or that could be the Sheepherders, or, Bushwhackers. John William Hinton, no idea. Roy Wayne Ferris, that's Honky Tonk Man, right? And Brian Yandrasovitz. Is that Nasty Boys? Brian, what's his name? I can't remember the Nasty Boys guys' names. Knobs and Sags, Brian Knobs. Yeah, I don't know the other dude. Corbin versus Breaker is a train wreck. I'm not going to debate with you on the Vikings or Packers because I'm not keeping up with the NFL this year. I'd like to. I pulled for Minnesota, but I haven't kept up. I can't tell you who's better, who's worse at this point. I would imagine the Packers are struggling a bit without their boy, but I don't know that for sure. Who will dethrone Dominic? I don't know, dude. I really don't have an answer for you. I think it's a great idea to put him there, though. No matter what anybody says about, main roster talent going to NXT. Look, NXT is a third brand. I think at this point we all have to admit to ourselves and to each other that NXT is a third brand. It is not developmental. I just don't know how often are we supposed to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, this is developmental? No, it's not. Stop. I mean, all right. If you're going to be like that, how about this? It's a hybrid. It's a developmental hybrid. That make everybody happy? All right, Ray. Pete Rock and CL Smooth or Eric B. and Rakim. I'm not doing that. You can't make me. Some stuff's too hard, man. Some stuff's too hard. That second one, LL Cool J or Nas? Nah, I can't. I'm telling you I can't. Make them easier. I'm telling you. I can't. It's too hard. If Adam Cole came to your house and invited you and your family to go to a luxury box to a basketball game at Charlotte versus the Lakers, and with unlimited snacks and water and coffee, and said you can bring a friend, could I come? Yes. Later wanted to get baked salmon and salad plus pecan pie, could I have as well? Yes. And for everyone that just heard me say it that way, yes. The appropriate way to pronounce that word is pecan. If you say pecan, show yourself to the door. There you go. Robbie says Big John Studd is the first one, Hockey Top Man and Brian Knobs. There you go. I got 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I can't sing. Well, once you start singing that song, you'll never stop. It's hard to get Meatloaf's notes because Meatloaf was a god, right? That dude's voice was amazing. It's hard to get those notes. You sing it in your car to the song and you're like, I got this. No, you don't. Turn the song off. You'll know you don't got it. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast, tackles one of the most popular and critically acclaimed series of our time, bringing together 3 hosts from 2 different parts of the world. Two Nations reviews all 3 seasons of Ted Lasso, 34 episodes total, with wrap-up episodes coming at the end of each season. Follow the show on social media at Two Nations Pod, and be sure to subscribe and download on all the major platforms. Just look us up, Two Nations Podcast. Now I gotta listen to Meatloaf on the way home. Vic says Chris Sabin versus Kenta and Ospreay versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Oh, for Impact? Oh, dude, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Ospreay and Mike Bailey gonna tear it up. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I might get some heat for this. I've not been the biggest fan of Bullet Club Kenta. I said it. It fits. He's working. He's working all the time. He's still a killer. I've not been a huge fan, personally. I'm not saying it sucks. I'm not saying any of it necessarily sucks. For me personally, I've not been like really in the bag for Bullet Club Kenta, but that's just me talking. Don't nobody get mad at me. What's my favorite pumpkin dessert? All of it. If it's got pumpkin spice, I'm there. I'm going to tell you right now, y'all don't know the extent to which I am a fiend for pumpkin in the fall. I am a basic white girl in the fall. Holler at your boy. All I'm missing is the scarf and the Han Solo boots, and I'm jacked and ready to go, man. Pumpkin everything. You hear me? I'm not kidding. Ask anybody who knows. They'll tell you. And you know what's coming on November 1st, don't you? Oh, the tree goes up. Get ready, Grinches. Every year I put my tree up on November 1st, and every year some of y'all go, it's too early. Shut up. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. I make merry, Jack. You understand? Christmas, ho, ho, ho. I'm saying. Got to celebrate Santa Claus' birthday. And don't none of y'all get mad that I said that. Relax. Everybody relax. Sometimes I say stuff just to see if certain people get upset. I have already revealed. I have peeled back the curtain. My eyes sparkle when I'm up to no good. That's how you know when I'm plotting something devious. When you see that twinkle, har, har, har. Twirl the mustache and whatnot. I'll be like Trent Seven, right? By the way, if you don't like Trent Seven, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. Have you been disappointed in the MCU since Endgame? No, I have not. I don't do that, Ricardo. This ain't at you, man. I see a lot of people bag on the MCU. Look, I'm a Marvel guy for life. I'm an MCU fan forever. Okay. I'm very biased. I'm not going to lie. On the 6M podcast, it's movies, music, Marvel, magazines, miniseries, and more. Marvel's the third M on the 6M, man. I'm as biased as they come. I'm in the bag for Marvel. I'm in the bag for the MCU. I am unabashedly in the bag for MCU. I'm so biased, and I'm so one-sided, and I'm so slanted, it's not even funny, baby. It is not even funny. I'm the wrong guy to ask. No, I don't think it's been downhill. I think that some things have worked better than others, if I'm being honest. Sure. I think some things have worked better than others. Do I think the Endgame is hard to top? You better believe it. Do I think that they've done what they can? Sure. Do I think that they could do more? Possibly. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'll agree to all of those things. But again, I'm in the bag for the MCU, baby. One more time for good measure. With 14 minutes left to go on the show, there is the link to the Boink Studios Discord. If you don't have a Discord account, it's free. They don't want anything from it. They don't want you social. They don't need a credit card number. They don't need a blood sample or urine sample or anything else. They don't want you firstborn. Just enter your name and your username and a password, and I think your email, and you're in. And it's just a cool place to hang out, man. I promise you'll dig it. I promise you'll dig it. I'll make it fun. Don't I make everything fun? Robbie says, I mentioned rain at the top of the show. My 8th grade class had class trip to Austin, San Antonio. We visited LBJ's house in a tour vehicle. Tour guide turned on, raindrops keep falling on my head. Then minutes later, it rained. That's a good story. That's that was in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. BJ Thomas? Is that his name? Is that Mac Davis or BJ Thomas? Really showing my age now, aren't I? I miss Mustache Mountain as a team. I really, truly do. Ray, I've already answered your question about that sports pod one time, of course. Of course. Oh, Shane, that's a good idea. Have a sports pod, and when you get set up, have Tina or Maria on from Peaches and Power Bombs. Cool Mo D or Biz Marquee. That's tough. It's tough. I'll go Biz Marquee. Kids, you still got 12 minutes. There's 11 of you here. Let's do some talkie. Floor's wide open. Hit me with whatever you got, Jack. Then we're going to go start our weekend in 12 minutes. What y'all doing this weekend? You can tell me that, can't you? Share your weekend plans. Unless they're like naughty or shall remain silent. If you're going to knock off a liquor store this Saturday or something, don't tell me about it. You'll make me an accessory. I don't need prior knowledge of your criminal activities. Leave me out of it. If I'm going to get in trouble for knocking off a liquor store, it's going to be because I did it. Chad says, homecoming for me. Nice. Everyone, please welcome Faye to the show. Faye is one of the many hosts of the Untitled Wrestling Podcast. There's 6 of them. I don't know. I'm going to have to get on Jay. I still have yet to appear on the Untitled Wrestling Podcast. I did the show with Jay where I wrote my dream card for All In Wembley, but I haven't done anything else. They don't like me over there. What'd I do to them? I'm kidding. I'm just playing. I'd love to do the show. I've had Troy on the 6M. I've had Troy on the main event. I've had Jay Left on. Jay Left, by the way, also Jay Left is one of the 3 co-hosts on Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast, baby. Go check it out. Subscribe, follow, download today. I promise you. Episode 8 of Two Nations comes out tomorrow. Episode 8 is the Diamond Dogs from season 1. You will get a kick out of it. I promise you. The only more fun I have actually doing the show is doing the post-production on the show so I can hears it all again. It's that much fun, I promise you. We make it a blast. I'm telling you, it's a fun show. Anyone who watches here will tell you. They'll all tell you. They'll all tell you. Faye, I'm well. I hope you are as well. Jeffrey says, watching football, NXT No Mercy. He says, Chris Featherstone, Dr. Chris had 600 episodes. Man, good for him. I'm not quite there yet. If you add up my shows, this is 323 for the main event. This coming Tuesday will be 160 for the 6M. So what is that? That's 483. That's 483. And then if you add up everything I've done podcast-wise for my own stuff, I'm at 500. But it's not one show. Not one show. If I were to double down, triple down the main event, try to do 3 shows a week or something, I could get there fairly quickly, but I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? For number one, I don't have time to do that. I don't have time. Did I like the missing link? Yeah, he was with Gary Hart. He had a great look. It's one of those typical 80s gimmicks where he's paying up and he was a wild man with the big eyes and everything. Yeah. What is my favorite Halloween costume and what current wrestler would you be for Halloween? I don't know if I could pull off a wrestler, man. I don't know if I could pull off a wrestler. I think being Sting would be cool. I've always wanted to be Sting. Who hasn't wanted to be Sting? I was seeing Punk several years ago. I slicked my hair back and wore the Punk shirt and taped my fists up. And put on a black hoodie. That was fun. It's my favorite Halloween costume. I think I got one. You want to know how poor Tom was when he was a kid? I did the do-it-yourself Halloween costume. We couldn't always afford for Tom to have the Halloween costume in a box with the mask that had the rubber band on the back that you snapped on the back of your head. I did have one. I had Ace Frehley from Kiss because Ace was my guy. I was a big Ace Frehley fan, all right? So I had that one. I think I had the Gene Simmons with the tongue also, I think. But most time I made my own. I was a creative kid anyway. So I had like the Boba Fett mask from like an old Halloween costume. And I put a towel on around my neck. I think it was a Boba Fett mask. Maybe it might have been I think it was a Boba Fett Underoos t-shirt. It's the truth. Truth. And I tied a bath towel around my neck like with a safety pin and then put some kind of domino mask on I had and created my own character. I say I was creative. The truth was I was dirt poor. Okay? DIY. When you poor, everything's DIY. You hear me? With all the firings at WWE, who would be a good fit from the release roster to go to AEW? I'd love to see what's Dolph's real name? His brother's there. Nick Nemeth is his real name? Or is it Ryan? I always get their first names messed up. Nick Nemeth, right? I'd like to see him there. Of course, I'd enjoy seeing Edge there, obviously. Ali's my guy, though. I think Ali is getting ready to have a monster career on the indie circuit. I'm telling you. I think no matter where Ali goes, he's going to kill it. I really believe. I think he'll get work, and I think he'll get booked everywhere he wants to work. I think he'll get main event matches. I think he'll get titles. I'm not kidding. I love Ali. Ali's got, dude, I got that dude. I got him. I'd love to have Ali on the show. I'd love to. There's something about that guy I feel like I could connect with. It's hard to put into words. But yeah, that dude's the real deal. He's the real deal. Looking forward to WrestleDream here too as well, for sure. Tom Clark for President 2024. I got too much of a history and too many people don't like me. So maybe I'd be a good fit. Ricardo says reading fantasy this weekend. Charm Casters and the Dark Secrets. I don't think I know that. Chaz, people should go to the zoo and check out the pandas. China's taking them away. Contract is coming up and he's pulling them. It's on the news yesterday. Oh, that's a shame. I got a weird feeling about animals in captivity. I mean, if the animals in captivity would be in danger in the wild, that's one thing. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. I kind of got mixed feelings on the whole zoo thing, dude. Well, I'll tell you something, Will. Kiss is, Kiss may not be the best band you ever heard, but when you put together, power chords and stage show and stage presence and the theatrics, they're solid, man. They're solid. Faye says my 13-year-old Matthew was John Moxley last year and Darby the year before. That's awesome. Yeah, do it. See, Faye's on the Discord. She's cool. How come y'all ain't there too, man? Y'all need to be there. I'm telling you. Y'all don't even know. I got people messaging me. I'm doing my show. Back up. We were all poor kids now having good. Well, some of us are okay. I don't know about it. Well, it's all right. It's a cliche, right? But it really did make me appreciate things later in life. Dude, I started working the week I turned 16. I never looked back. I couldn't wait to get a job because I could actually help out my mom with paying bills. That's the truth. That's a shoot, brother. I've been working ever since, man. I don't know what it's like to not pay my own way. You know what I mean? I sure don't want anybody else doing it for me. Rob says that I hear that Bray was released after his death, so WWE wouldn't pay family money for his future merch and other things. I have not heard that. Is that true? Is that true? And by the way, if he's passed, I don't know. I can't comment on the specifics of that because I don't know and I don't want to be wrong. Yeah, I'm with you, Keith. I think I'll be watching WrestleDream Sunday. Jen says Shelton Benjamin, Matt Riddle to AEW. I have no desire to see Matt Riddle in AEW. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think they'd sign him either. I think Matt's got too much baggage. Matt's, I think it's too much. In my opinion, I think it's too much. I don't know if they'd take a chance on him. And honestly, they don't need him anyway. Look, no disrespect. I know what I said earlier about supporting the talent, but don't support talent if they suck. Like if they're bad people or make dumb decisions. There's a history of some dumb decisions there. I mean, look, I'm not passing judgment. I don't know the guy. Okay? Sorry to see about your aunt, man. All the best to you and your family. Jeff says, Emma back to Impact. I love Emma. I'd love to see her. She'll end up somewhere. If it's something she wants to do. 3 minutes, kids. 3 minutes. This will only take about 3 minutes. Anybody remember that gimmick? 3-minute warning. All right, until some final comments, questions, words of wisdom roll in, let me hit you with this. Tom Clark's 6M podcast. Brand new episodes drop every Tuesday. This past week, we talked about Little Richard. It's a fun episode. Go check it out. We cover everything under the sun and then some on that pod. You'll thoroughly enjoy it. It's myself and Phil Lindsay most of the time. Other times it's Chris Mueller, Christopher Ray Patton. It's also, has Chris Patton been on the, he's been on the main event. Chris Patton and I are going to do Heels next week. Anybody a fan of Heels? We're going to cover that on the 6M next week. There you go. Ray Dean has also been on the 6M podcast. Troy Grant's been on there. Jay Luff, Ben Jackson, Minnesota Wrestling Pod's been on there. Faye, we got to get you on the 6M. If you're interested in coming on the 6M, let's find something you're interested in talking about that falls under the M category. Let's do a show. I'm not kidding with you. Yeah, it seems like a good time to talk about Heels, doesn't it? Right after the freaking thing gets canceled. It's a shame. That show's a massive cliffhanger, dude. Massive cliffhanger. So yeah, go check out the 6M podcast. And one more to note. Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast starring myself, Jay Luft, and Joe Higgins. Every Saturday, brand new episodes. Tomorrow, episode 8, which is the Diamond Dogs from season 1 of Ted Lasso. There's only 2 episodes left, okay? And once those 2 episodes hit, season 1 will be done. It freaks me out, man. I can't believe we're already done. No kidding. It'll break my heart. But it's okay. We'll know why. We got 2 seasons left. We are presently recording season 2 as we speak. We will be about a quarter of the way through that this coming Thursday. Yes, next week. We'll be a quarter of the way through season 2. So we're plowing ahead. We'll be done with all 3 seasons sometime in December of next year. I'm just kidding. It feels like it. But it's the best kind of time. I'm having a blast. Hopefully the guys are too. Everybody seems to enjoy themselves. If you're a fan of Ted Lasso, or if you've never watched before but always wanted to, watch the show, then listen to our podcast review after you watch the episode. You'll love it. I promise you we make it fun. All right, kids, that's what I got for you. We're at the top of the hour, which means we're going to bid you adieu. And we're going to get up out of here. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us here today. I very much appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Go watch some pro wrestling this weekend. Go to your local promotions and check out the shows. Check out WrestleDream. Watch NXT tomorrow. Get all the wrestling you can in your system and then get ready for a brand new full week of more wrestling programming. The more the merrier is what I say. Bring it to me. I want all the wrestlings. Bring it to me. Thanks again, kids, for hanging out. We'll see you next week, barring any unforeseen circumstances. If something changes, I'll let you know. In the meantime, I'm out. Have a great weekend, kids. See you later on the main event.